Welcome to my video course on AI application for railway signaling. Today, we're laying the groundwork for a truly fascinating journey into the future of transportation. This foundational academic module, well, it's all about understanding how artificial intelligence is rapidly transitioning from, a neat theoretical concept into an absolute strategic imperative for the railway industry. We're going to look at the big picture of why this is happening right now and how data is fundamentally reshaping how we move people and freight all around the world.
Okay, let's dive into the syllabus for today's lecture. We've got 5 key stops on our roadmap. We're starting off with the Global Transport Challenge, then moving into the third digital revolution and exploring optimizing existing rail infrastructure. After that, we'll shift gears from reactive to predictive excellence, and finally, wrap things up with achieving sustainable rail mobility. So, Part 1, the Global Transport Challenge. Let's look at the immense macroeconomic hurdle facing the entire global transport sector today.
The entire mobility sector is basically facing a massive wave of urbanization. Because of this, global transport demand is expected to completely double by the year 2050. Just think about that for a second. That is a staggering, foundational statistic. We are literally talking about twice as many passengers, twice as much freight, and an unbelievable strain on our existing transit networks. This isn't just a slight uptick, it's a fundamental shift in our global mobility needs.
And that brings us to our core problem. Surging transport demand brings incredibly high expectations for network capacity and reliability, right? Historically, when demand went up, we just laid more track. Easy. But today, relying solely on physical infrastructure expansion is just way too cost-prohibitive, time-intensive, and frankly insufficient to meet this surging demand. We simply cannot build our way out of this with just steel and concrete alone. Which leads us to Part 2, the third digital revolution. This is the exact paradigm shift we desperately need to bridge that immense infrastructure gap.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it frames our current era. Over the past few decades, digital revolutions have continually reshaped human society, right? First, we had the personal computer, then, boom, the explosive growth of the internet. Well, today, we are living right in the middle of the third digital revolution, an era totally defined by the unprecedented speed, scale, and transformative power of big data and artificial intelligence. This revolution accelerates way beyond those past eras, and it's the key to solving our global transport challenge. Moving on to Part 3. Optimizing existing rail infrastructure. Let's talk about the practical application of this digital revolution for our railway networks.
So, the crucial point is this really stark shift in our strategic thinking. The old paradigm, it was entirely hardware-centric, relying on building new physical tracks and acquiring new assets. But the AI paradigm, it's a total inversion of that. It focuses on using advanced algorithms to deliver vastly more performance, resilience, and capacity from the infrastructure we already possess. It's all about being smarter, not just bigger.
Just think of artificial intelligence as the ultimate vital enabler for our modern railways. These networks are incredibly complex systems, right? Thousands of interdependencies, dynamic scheduling demands, varying vehicle availability, the whole shebang. By applying AI, we can actually extract hidden capacity. We can safely run trains with less headway, meaning closer together. We can optimize routing in a fraction of a second and essentially maximize the performance of the infrastructure we already have without pouring a single new yard of concrete.
Let's jump to Part 4, reactive to predictive excellence. This is where we shift focus to the specific operational transformation AI brings to asset management and signaling.
And this brilliantly illustrates how data extraction from physical assets opens up a whole new dimension of operational control. In the modern railway, we're equipping physical assets, everything from train undercarriages to switches along the track, with intelligent sensors. By extracting continuous telemetry data, the physical world is directly represented in the digital world, allowing us to optimize asset utilization in real time.
So here is how this critical industry shift actually plays out on the ground. Traditionally, railways are reactive, right? A switch fails, a train gets delayed, and a crew rushes out to fix it. It causes massive disruptions. Well, today, we're moving to Step 2, real-time data synthesis, constantly monitoring asset health and the environment. And that unlocks Step 3, the ultimate goal, predictive excellence. AI analyzes data patterns to predict a failure before it ever happens, allowing for proactive repairs that completely eliminate the delay. It's an absolute game changer.
Let's move to and see how this builds into broader network control. Think about a modern traffic management center. A human operator, no matter how skilled they are, simply cannot simultaneously process the millions of data points generated across a sprawling network. There's just no way. But AI easily synthesizes this immense amount of environmental and asset data to drive real-time traffic management, supervising flow at various levels of automation and making sure the whole system runs at absolute peak efficiency.
Finally, Part 5, Achieving Sustainable Rail Mobility. Let's connect these technological and operational advancements back to our macro-level global sustainability goals. Because when it comes down to it, rail possesses an inherent massive environmental advantage. The math here is incredibly simple, but man, is it powerful. Rail transport produces up to 7 times fewer CO2 emissions per passenger kilometer when you compare it to average-sized combustion engine vehicles. 7 times! This single metric alone makes rail the most attractive, viable, and absolutely necessary option for the future of global mass transit.
Therefore, adopting AI in the railway sector, it isn't merely an operational upgrade about capacity, it's a strategic necessity to achieve the ambitious sustainability targets outlined in the European Green Deal. By making trains more reliable and efficient through AI, we actually drive a modal shift, basically convincing more people to leave their cars behind and choose sustainable transport. Plus, AI optimizes energy efficiency across the entire network, reduces waste, and acts as a foundational pillar in supporting our zero-net greenhouse gas emission targets. So, as we wrap up this module, I want to leave you with a provocative thought to carry forward. As AI transitions from a theoretical concept to a strategic imperative, how will predictive excellence redefine your role in the railway of tomorrow? Because whether you're a planner, an engineer, or an operator, this technology is going to completely reshape your daily workflows. Thanks, you can see in next video.